Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here again among such a large and distinguished gathering of political and business leaders. Earlier today, I had the pleasure of meeting President Obama, and we shared our thoughts on a wide range of issues concerning our two nations. Tomorrow, I look forward to addressing the US Congress. India's bilateral relationship with the United States is stronger than ever, and we both agreed that the future would be even brighter. I'm speaking to you at a time when the global economy continues to be weak. Several parts of the world are still facing very difficult conditions. This is a time when the world needs new engines of growth. From the point of view of the world's oldest democracy, obviously, it would be nice if the new engines are democratic engines. I'm happy to tell you that today India is poised to contribute as a new engine of global growth. A larger Indian economy has multiple benefits for the world. Obviously, India presents a large and growing market, but India is much more than a market. India is a reliable partner, a source of high-quality scientific, engineering, and managerial talent, a crucible of development ideas and experiments, an efficient source of high-quality R&D, and a testimony that democracy and rapid growth can coexist. As India embarks on a new era of development, it needs to learn much from America's tradition of entrepreneurship and innovation. America remains at the forefront of scientific and technological innovation, from air traffic control to air quality improvement, from drugs to drones, from hybrid cars to hydrofracking. Indeed, to me, America is not just a country with a great past, it is a country with an exciting future. I am therefore sure that ours will be a partnership which sees both nations benefit. A very unique feature of the Indo-American relationship is the critical role of the Indian-American community in the US economy. It is rare that immigrants from one nation who becomes immigrants in other enjoy such high respect and repute in both countries. Indian Americans are a powerful connecting force in our growing economic cultural ties. I have just completed 2 years in the office. When I addressed you in 2014, I had just taken over the reins of government. We face a particular challenging domestic and external environment. Confidence of investors was at a low. Doubts were being expressed about the future of the Indian economy. The business community was unhappy with the inertia and stagnation that had set in. There was frustration with archaic policies and red tape. In 2 years, we have managed to overcome the odds and register an impressive economic performance. I want to take this opportunity to describe to you the key elements of our policies. I've said several times that my aim is to reform, to transform. For me, reforms are those policies that transform the lives of ordinary citizens. In the last 2 years, we have taken a comprehensive package of reforms which go beyond more economic reforms. I can classify them into 4 types. First, macroeconomic policies to create a strong foundation. Second, policies to stimulate growth and employment through investment and trade and to increase efficiency and productivity. Third, policies to ensure that growth benefits to the poor and the weaker section of the society, including women and farmers. Fourth, a frontal attack on corruption. Let me start with my macroeconomy. Since we took office, inflation, the fiscal deficit, and the balance of payments, current account deficit, have all fallen. GDP growth, foreign exchange reserves, stock market valuations, and investors' confidence have all increased. This success is the result of a series of well-thought-out policies. We have legislated a monetary framework with inflation targeting an independent monetary policy committee to curb inflation. We embarked on a course of fiscal consolidation, and our fiscal deficit has been reduced substantially in each of 3 budgets so far. Even while cutting the fiscal deficit, we have greatly increased productivity, public investment. This has been made possible in 2 years and 2 ways. Firstly, we impose carbon taxes on fossil fuels. We took the bold step of decontrolling diesel prices and thereby eliminated energy subsidies. We then replaced them with taxes. A clean environment says per ton has been increased by 8 times. Globally, there is much talk of carbon taxes, but much of it is just that talk. we have actually acted. Secondly, we have reduced wasteful expenditure through innovative methods and use of technology. Subsidiaries are increasingly credited directly to bank accounts of the deserving with foolproof biometric identifications. Let me now turn to our policies to stimulate growth and employment. This audience is probably aware of the sweeping liberalization that we have undertaken in foreign direct investment. We have put most sectors on automatic approval and opened up sectors like defense and railways to foreign investment. The long pending insurance law reform was successfully passed. Several insurance companies, including American companies, have already enhanced their investment in the insurance sector. We have taken major steps to increase the ease of doing business and have already begun climbing steeply in the global ranking. We are encouraging foreign and domestic investors to set up high quality and efficient manufacturing facilities. We have greatly enhanced investment in roads, railways, ports, and waterways to improve logistics. We have made major process improvements in our ports to reduce the time taken for cargo to enter and exit. We admire the startup ecosystem in your country. We are making a beginning in replicating it. Our Startup India program has stimulated a new breed of innovators. In 2016, Capgemini has ranked Bengaluru as the 5th most preferred location for innovation centers. It was not even in the top 10 in 2015. For our economy to succeed, we need a strong banking system. We inherited a system where cronyism and corruption were believed to be rampant in banking decisions and appointments to public sector banks. I held the first ever retreat of a Prime Minister with bankers. We have set up clear performance measures and accountability mechanisms. We are committed to ensuring adequate capital. Interference in banking decisions has ended. A new process for appointments has been put in place under a bank board bureau. Credible and capable bankers have been appointed to head banks. For the first time since banks were nationalized 47 years ago, private sector professionals have been appointed in key positions first time. I now turn to our policies to ensure that growth is inclusive. We have brought more than 200 million people into the banking system through the financial inclusion program called Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. This is more than the population of most countries in the world. Now, these millions are part of our banking system, and words like interest rate have a meaning for these poor people. These people have shown that there is a great strength at the bottom of the pyramid. Believe it or not, accounts opened under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana today have a total balance of almost $6 billion. The Jan Dhan Yojana has also transformed the ability of the poor to make and to receive electronic payments. Every Jan Dhan account holder is eligible for debit cards. India's banks and post offices are also being encouraged to operate mobile ATMs. Mobile ATM is one where cash can be drawn and simple banking tasks done through a handheld device. We have provided a safety net through new social security schemes. We have introduced 3 non-subsidized but low-cost schemes covering accident insurance, life insurance, and pensions. Because of their massive coverage, the premia are low. There are now over 120 million subscribers. We have paid special attention to gender justice into empowering women. We have a new savings program to help pay for girls' education with a special high rate of interest. To relieve rural women from the health hazards of cooking with firewood, we are giving 50 million new gas connections in poor rural areas. Under our new self-employment financing program called Mudra, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, over 70% of the beneficiaries are women. More than 27 million new women-headed businesses have been assisted. We have changed our policies to allow women in combat roles in the armed forces. New rules are increasing the representation of women on corporate boards of directors. Agriculture remains India's mainstay in terms of providing livelihood. There was a tendency to deprive farmers of subsidized fertilizer by diverting it for the production of chemicals. A simple but very effective solution is neem coating of fertilizer, which makes it unsuitable for diversion. We have moved towards universal neem coating of urea. It has already saved millions of rupees of diverted farm subsidies and improved fertilizer availability to farmers. It is an example of how simple reforms can be very effective. We have introduced a soil health card nationally, which tells every farmer the condition of his or her soil. It enables the farmers to choose the best crop and right quantity and mix of inputs. The greatly reduced wastage of inputs and increase crop yield besides protecting the soil. By reducing unnecessary chemical inputs, it is also good for health of consumers. 140 million soil health cards will be issued. This brings me to an achievement that I think even our worst critics do not dispute. This is the change in levels of corruption. For many years, economists and other experts have held corruption to be one of the main constraints on the growth of any developing country. We have taken decisive steps to curb corruption. I have already referred to what has been done in public sector banks. We removed discretion in allocation of key resources and moved to transparent auction of mines, spectrum, and FM radio licenses, and we have purged leakage through direct benefit transfer. We have revamped our personnel management to ensure that senior positions are held by persons of integrity. We have launched an ongoing campaign against tax evasion and black money. The poor are the greatest beneficiaries of the reduction in corruption. Looking to the future, let me outline what I see as the path we will follow in the coming years. Firstly, we will continue to have disciplined and prudent macroeconomic policies. I firmly believe that sound macroeconomic fundamentals are necessary foundation for long-term sustainable growth. Secondly, we will combine this with a continued stress on inclusion and equity. This is to ensure the fruits of development reach not to a few, not to many, but to all Indians. And this will also mean continuing our attack on corruption. Thirdly, we will continue to make progress on improving the investment climate and ease of doing business. We want to make India a destination which not only welcomes business, but where it is easy to do business. We have largely achieved the first by drastically liberalizing our foreign direct investment policies. We have made a good beginning on the second and will continue to make further improvements. We will continue to invest large sums to create a world-class infrastructure. We will continue to strengthen the Make in India initiative. It is not indeed for any manufacturing for the domestic market or import substitutes. It is as much about making world-class products and service for the whole globe. That is why, for us, improvements towards free trade are important. It is very important for us that developed countries open their markets not only to goods from countries like India, but also to services. I see this as a win-win proposition for the US and for India. India is the future human resource powerhouse of the world with a young, hard-working population. In my vision, a partnership between American capital and innovation and Indian human resources and entrepreneurship can be very powerful. I'm convinced we can strengthen both our economies through such a partnership. We will continue to make our tax policies more predictable. We have made major strides towards predictability by signing a number of advance pricing agreements with the United States. We are committed to taking this further. At the same time, like the US, we are cracking down on tax evasion and unfair tax avoidance. We will continue to provide strong protection to intellectual property rights in accordance with our newly announced policy. We will continue to open up our defense sector. I'm aware that licensing policies can sometimes slow down the process of investing in India's defense sector. We are exploring a simpler and more efficient project licensing approach for defense. In the field of nuclear energy, we are purchasing 6 nuclear reactors from Westinghouse, which will mark a new era in our nuclear and scientific cooperation. I was delighted when GE became one of the first companies to make a major investment in the newly liberalized railway sector. It is setting up locomotive manufacturing plants in Bihar. I expect many more such investments. The river Ganga has a special significance for India. The Namami Ganga program to clean the river Ganga is on the verge of taking off. It will be a big priority over the coming years. This project offers major opportunities for American companies with their expertise in environmental engineering, water and sewage treatment, and the like. This project is a high priority for my government, and our aim is to restore the Ganga to its pristine glory. Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our journey towards a transformed India. A transformed India with 1/6 of humanity will mean a transformed world. The journey will be long, but the progress we have achieved so far convince me that we will reach our destination. I invite you to join us on this journey. It is a journey which offers the exciting possibility of not only building a better balance sheet of your company, but of building a better India, building a better America, and building a better world. Thank you very much. Thank you.